Hello guys, Belle here. Going to be taking you on a little walkthrough of the Unholy Death Knight and the artifact weapon. Going to walk you through some of the things that you can expect, your traits for your weapon, as well as how it's going to work, and your ability to be able to change the looks. Because this is the DK haul, we're going to have quite a bit of aggro here, as there's always some random things that happen, more so than any other haul I've met, actually. So that's going to be quite interesting. Now, there's a few things to note here before we get started so that you're aware of all the information going in. So there aren't going to be any weapon drops in Legion, as I'm sure if you're watching this video, you're already well aware that there are not going to be any weapon drops. In addition to there not being any weapon drops, this is going to be your main weapon. Keep in mind that every weapon is spec specific, so you'll have a new quest line when you swap specs to acquire that weapon, which I guess we're not going to have a problem with content or things to do in the first half of Legion while we're trying to get our alts decked out after we've handled our main. Now, the cool thing about these artifact weapon acquisition quests is they are different per spec, so it's not regurgitated information that you're going through, which is pretty neat. So I think that that's going to be pretty interesting. The other thing to note here as far as the way that your weapon's going to work, these are your traits on your weapon. This is because your weapon grows with you in item level and power. You're going to be able to unlock these traits using artifact power as well as relics. Now, it's important to understand what the relics do. These relics are going to increase your weapon's item level and also unlock additional ranks for some of your minor traits here. For the Unholy DK, you have the Fire artifact, the Shadow, as well as the Blood artifact. You'll actually socket those relics into here to increase your power and be able to do that. Now, it's also important to know that your stamina is increased per trait you purchase. So you're also getting a nice little boost there, which this is going to be your weapon artifact power knowledge. 34 is the total amount of ranks you've purchased. That is considered your artifact knowledge. So that's going to be how that's used there. So as you guys can see, for this nice little UI that you have here, this is pretty similar to the old school talent trees in the sense of you use one to unlock the other. So that's going to be very important there. Another important thing to note here is, in addition to being able to come to your quest hall or your class hall, which of course is Ebonhold, you're going to be able to engage the UI for your artifact weapon by right-clicking and shift. That'll open it up. It won't open the appearance tab, so you can't work with the appearances from here, but you can definitely check out the traits you have from this thing and be able to socket your relics that you will find as you level and go through the content of Legion. So that's quite a nice little, animation there. I like that. Let me check out what the appearance. So the appearance will make it closer so that we can go through the different appearances, which we will do that at a later time. I wanted to get through some of this information first, and then we'll take a look at the appearances and some of the quests on how you can actually unlock them. So for every artifact weapon that you have, doesn't matter the spec, you do have an on-use ability that is going to be your main on-use ability for your weapon, which of course for the Unholy DK, it is called the Apocalypse. It's quite beautiful. I guess before we do anything else, I should have you guys take a look at it. This is its original form before anything else is unlocked. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, of course. So your main ability here, all these other traits are going to be passive abilities. So these are just things that are going to add to your power and accentuate the talents and the spells that you already have and the abilities that you have. So that's what this purpose is, of course. And so for your main ability, this is an instant. It does have a 1.5 minute cooldown. You'll want to keep this down here on your bar so that you can make use of it. Basically, it strikes the enemy, dealing a certain amount of physical damage and bursting all festering wounds on the target, summoning a member of your army of the dead for 15 seconds for each burst of festering wound. Gross, but that's what DKs are. So and it's unholy, and that's specific to a lot of festering wounds going on in the focal points of being unholy, which if you have not seen my unholy video, make sure you go and check out the Unholy DK spec and talent preview to find out what it's looking like in Legion so far in beta. So let's start going through these talents, shall we? So in addition to your main one, the rest of your abilities, your traits as it were, the gold dragon around means it's a major trait. The rest of these are going to be your minor traits. So for your first trait here, you have the Feast of Souls. This is only a up to rank 1, which we did talk about your relic power being able to increase ranks on your minor traits, which is going to give you some additional power because you'll start off at rank 1 for all of those. So it will increase the percentages on a lot of those stats for you, so that's definitely going to be useful there. With the Feast of Souls, increases your the shadow damage you deal by 8%, which is pretty good. By no small feat, 8% is definitely more than what it was before, so definitely interesting there. You have Rotten Touch. This goes up to rank 3, so you're going to be able to build into it starting at rank 1. Increases damage dealt by your Festering Strike by 15%. Since this is at 15% at max rank, I'm assuming your rank 1 will probably start off at 5 and then increment by 5 until you've maxed out on your ranks by 3. Next, you have your Runic Tattoos. This also goes up to rank 3. Increases your maximum runic power by 15 and runic power generation by 10%, which, since it's all about runes and runic power, that's going to be pretty awesome for you to be able to get a little bit of a buff there. Then for one of your main traits is going to be Scourge of the Worlds. This does go up to rank 1. Death Coil has a chance to increase your Scourge Strike damage against that target by 50% for 6 seconds. So that's going to be nice as well. Then you have the Darkest Crusade. This goes up to rank 3. This increases the effect of your Fallen Crusader Rune Forge by 21%. You also have Portal to the Underworld. Your Army of the Dead, your army of the dead ghouls explode when they die, dealing a certain amount of shadow damage to nearby enemies. So they're gonna die anyway. Might as well go out with a bang, right? That's my theory anyway, as far as what it means to be a DK. This is your Flesh Seer. This is a Darkened Blade. Sears flesh on contact, leaving the victims in agony. This is something that costs an extreme amount of artifact power, and this is just something for you to work towards in collecting your artifact power to make it a lot easier for you to be able to do that. That I don't know what that's going to entail, but I'm sure it's a lot. Next on your list here is going to be Eternal Agony. This is going to increase the duration of your dark transformation by 6%. Or 6 seconds, I'm sorry. That's pretty awesome. That gives you extra. Now you build into this, so this is the percentage you're getting now is going to be at its max for being rank 3. You then have Scourge of the Unbeliever. This is up to 3 ranks. Scourge Strike has a 10% chance to generate 1 rune. Can't be mad about that. You have Armies of the Damned. Ghouls summoned by the Army of the Dead apply additional effect within their claw attack. For death, increased damage taken from the Death Knight. War, reduced healing done. Famine, reduced damage dealt to the Death Knight. And Pestilence, which is an additional damage over time. Pretty nice. You then also have Deadly Durability. This can go up to rank 3. Increases the effectiveness of the Anti-Magic Shell and Icebound Fortitude by 10%. I can't wait to see this crap against DKs and PvP. Anti-Magic Shell is literally the Antichrist when it comes to me trying to damage and kill a DK. Then for one of your major abilities, or one of your major traits here, you have Double Doom. Sudden Doom. Sudden Doom can now accumulate 2 charges and will occur 15% more frequently. That's definitely nothing to sneeze at. Then you have Gravitational Pull. This is a rank 1. Death Grip also reduces its target movement speed by 50% for 6 seconds. You also have Deadliest Coil. Increased damage dealt by Death Coil by 5% or by 15%. This is also rank 3, so you're going to be able to step into that probably 5% at a time before you cap out. And then, of course, you have your Unholy Endurance. This is rank 3. Reduce all damage taken. Reduce all damage you take from area of effect attacks by 15%. So this is here based off, I mean, this is really, really good stats. As you see, the item level here, I'm level 110, so it is 710 for my item level. As I be able to level that artifact power and do what I need to do, I'm going to be able to increase that item level to definitely make this something that's worthwhile. So now that we've seen the traits, let's go ahead and move on to the appearance. Now, it's important to note that these appearances, as well as the huge appearance changes, because for each tier you have different colors, but then you have different uses. So for this first set, you'll be able to unlock these colors by just doing certain things. It can be campaign order hall for this first set, whatever the case may be. I'm going to show you what the appearances look like. I do apologize, it's taking the sword a while to come around. Then you have the red, and then this is a blue, and then of course you've seen the green. Now for your Unholy War, you get this it's a whole different view by completing the Death Knight Hall campaign, which, as you see, this is a beefed up version. So each step here, you're going to be acquiring definitely a more unique look for your weapon. And this will, of course, separate you from those who are just kind of casually playing. If you're into unlocking all your weapon things, you'll be able to have that accolade visibly on your weapon, which is pretty nice. But as you can see, unlock every artifact trait gives you the blue version of this weapon. And then research the full history of your artifact, which acquiring your artifact power is all about research, which is why it's a book when you hover. And then there's the red version, which is really nice if you're a Blood DK. And then, of course, you have the white version. Then the Herald of Pestilence, completing the questline Balance of Power. This is going to be doing achievements. Then your challenge mode, doing your challenge mode dungeons, and then your Glory of the Legion Hero. So that's your Glory of the Legion Hero. It's beautiful. I can definitely see why that would want to be something sought after. Then you have your little teal type of color. It's meant to be, I think, an orange-red fire type color. And then, of course, your run-of-the-mill blue, which is just as pretty, especially if you're a Frost DK. Now, for your Famine Bear, let me tell you that this is my favorite part of all the artifact weapons. Your final stage of your weapon, this is going to be specific to PvP people, and I think that this is awesome because it's giving players an opportunity to show they're different. You're going to be using your artifact weapon in PvP and in PvE. Why not be able to have a different look that tells the world you're a PvEer? I think that, or a PvPer. I think that's pretty awesome just because I'm a PvPer myself, and I think part of doing PvP means setting yourself apart. So with the new PvP leveling system, you're going to be doing, that's the random Lich King. There you go, guys. The Lich King has spoken. When you prestige and you do certain things within these prestigings, when you're leveling your honor system, the new honor system they have in place, you'll be able to unlock the PvP version of this weapon, which once again, guys, anything that can allow you to separate yourself from other people is the goal here. We want to try to find our own unique driving force here. So that's definitely going to be pretty interesting. I definitely like that blue. I'm pretty excited about this. I have pretty much all of every character, so I'll probably be going through that. But that was your look at the DK and artifact weapon for Unholy. Be doing all the other specs as well, so make sure you check out the channel. If you're new to PWNCAST, make sure you do us a nice little favor and go ahead and subscribe, mostly because you're going to be able to be kept up on all your news in relation to Legion and World of Warcraft in general. If you're watching this video, you're already here, why not hit the little thumbs up button, give me a like, show me that you appreciate the work, and also make sure you comment if you have any questions. I'd love to answer any questions that you have. Don't hesitate to reach out. That's what I got beta for. I'm here for you. I'm going to go ahead and get on out of here, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.